Hello, today I'm with Ashley Sosa today. So, Ashley, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into running.
Okay, so I started running, I feel like a little later than most of at least my friends. I started in eighth grade because my brother um started running in high school. He was in ninth grade. He did that for a year. And so when he became a sophomore in high school, I was an eighth grader and he really enjoyed it. And he was gone for the weekends and I was stuck at home with my mom. So I was like, maybe I should start. And at this point, I knew the coaches at our schools here in Gainesville. So then I decided to try out, and somehow I made it. Never ran before. My brother took me on a couple runs over the summer, and it wasn't great. I was dying all the time, but I started enjoying it, and then I joined the team, and I slowly got into it. And so eighth grade was my first year, and then I did all of high school and then now all of college. I just started my last, it was my first race of outdoor.
Wait, what'd you say? I lost the end of that.
I said that's pretty much how I got into
Um,
it.
um, so what age did most of your friends start then?
I know that with most of my friends that I made throughout high school, they had started at the beginning of middle school. So they started in sixth grade, and then I joined the team, and they had already been on the team for 2 years. So I felt a little bit out of place, but then I became very close to them, and so they had 2 years on me, but I felt pretty good.
Um, what do you most enjoy about running?
I would like to say just the atmosphere. I really enjoy being at practice, and if, some days I don't feel like running or I'm feeling too tired, I ask one of my friends who's like on my team, and it makes the run so much better. Or sometimes when I'm feeling very stressed or overwhelmed with school, going on a run or sometimes even just a walk, just being outside helps me a lot and it helps me clear my mind. So that
Yeah,
would be,
I definitely relate to that. Like some days I'm like stressed and like having a rough day and I just go for a run and
Mhm.
and it all feels better.
Yes, it always works out.
Um, what's your favorite racing distance?
So when I was in high school, I did mainly the mile and 2 mile. And I always prefer indoor. In between those two, I say I would prefer the 5K. But then when it comes to outdoor, I do 5K and 10K, and I would prefer the 10K. So I think the longer the
Yeah,
distance, that's where I would go for.
that's good. Yeah, me too. Do you have any outdoor seasons, like outdoor goals you're looking for this to hit this year?
Um, I feel like every year I've kind of broken a PR in every event. So I think this year for one, I think my main goal is just stay healthy. Um, we go through a lot of aches and pains with just, all the running on cement and track and the track work. I think my goal is to stay healthy and just PR in my events, just give it all I've got for this last season because it's the last one. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, just beat my PRs and stay positive and healthy.
So, are you sad that this is the last year?
Mentally, I feel like I'm not ready to let it go. I'm very scared to just not have a scheduled routine. But I think physically, I'm good. I should be done. But I do want to run like a marathon, and I still do plan on continue running on my own and staying in shape. I feel like it's a good way to just stay healthy and in a routine. So it's kind of like yes and no. I'm ready, but not really.
Yeah, I feel that. Um, when's your next race?
Next weekend, I think we have a lot of back-to-back weekends for this last outdoor season. So I ran one yesterday, and then I think next weekend I'm on Saturday at USC. So that should be fun.
What'd you do yesterday?
I did the 15, which I've never done before.
How was it?
I don't really do the short distances, and that's not really short, but it went really well. I ran a 5:47, I think. Yes, 5:47. And so, no, that's wrong. 5:57. No, 4:57. Sorry. My numbers are just
Yeah.
going all over the place. So I think the conversion was like a 5:19 mile, which is my mile PR. So I still just kind of stay within the same range in the mile.
So do you think you ever get sub five in the mile? Is that a goal for
Sub
you?
five, I don't know. I, w- I I mean, it would be really, really, I would love that. Yes. I never really do any taste, and we mix in some like turnover workouts. So we'll do a long tempo and then a couple 400s or even a ladder where it's like a 6, 4, 3, 2.
Mm,
But I'd be a challenge, I feel.
yeah. Um, what's the shortest distance you ever run? You raced?
E- I think 800. Yeah. I was on our So I was one of our legs there, and then later in the day, I did the 2 mile.
Um, are there any events that you have not done before that you'd want to try out?
Um, okay, so I feel like the 3K steeple would be very fun, but I mean, doing like hurdle mobility workouts, sometimes after a run, we just like walk over hurdles and stuff, and it's not very great. So it would be, I would love to, and I would love to like be able to jump over a hurdle or a little steeple barrier. I just don't think my body was made for that. I am very short as well, so that steeple barrier is like half of my body already. And so I feel like I would want to try that out. It's just not in the books for me.
I definitely feel like that'd be fun to do it a steeplechase just once, but I know like I'd be too scared to make it over the hurdle to even try because I figure just fall straight on my face when
Oh
I
yeah. Yes, that's my thing. I would probably try to go over it and then stumble a little and then I would just flip over. It would be a mess.
like it's just so funny to see like the pros or the top college runners do it. It's like how do y'all do it? Make it look so easy?
Yes.
Because I'm looking at them like these hurdles are not short. Like they're not short hurdles. Like I can't even I can barely walk over it,
Yeah,
let
I
alone
can
run over
barely
it.
walk over it. Yeah, it would be a mess. I know one of my teammates last year, she wanted to try it and she was a freshman last year, so it was her first year. She's never done steeple before. She went for it. Amazing. It was her first year ever even looking at a steeple barrier. Never tried it before. She went out there and did it like it was nothing. I feel like some people just like have it locked down. You have to have a different type of mentality and just athleticism to do that. And I would consider myself a good runner, not for steeple though. I'm not jumping over anything.
Yeah. And I'm just not flexible enough to do that.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
no,
like
me
pole
neither.
vault too. Like pole vault looks fun
Hmm.
if I could only make it off the ground. But I would feel like I
Yeah,
would try and I would probably not even make it off the ground.
if I could like lift myself up, that would be great. Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Like there's some events I would love to try out, but I'm like,
Mhm.
I cannot do these because they're just I'm not flexible enough. So I'm just like, okay, I will just do my distance events and that will be enough because I'm good at that or relatively good, I would say.
Yeah, I just keep it simple. I'll just stick to the running.
And
No
that's what I'm most
barriers.
familiar with because I'm
Hmm.
also times wise. Like the shorter sprints and like the field events, I'm like, I think you did a good job. I don't know what is good for those field events. But
Yeah,
like
I've
running
learned a
wise, I
lot
definitely
through
know
my
more
track teammate.
what is good, what is not good. Which event would you say do you do the best in?
Um, I would be kind of a competition between the 5K and the 10K. I feel like I've kind of mastered how to race a good 5K, but the 10K I also have just become it's because I feel like a 10K takes a lot of just mental capacity, just knowing you have to go out there and it's like over a 30-minute race and just laps around a track. But both of those, I feel like I've got them locked down and I can go out there and do it and it's going to hurt and I know it, but I don't really let it get to me. Sometimes when it comes to like a shorter distance, like yesterday for the 15, I was a little scared and I felt just a little bit of slight panic just because I know that that's not really what I do, but I was still going to go out there and try it. I have a lot more confidence in myself though when it comes to a 5K or a 10K. So it would be one of those two.
Yeah, that's what mine too. What's your usual strategy for 5K, 10K? Like, do you like just going out hard and just holding on, or do you like make it more even?
Um, I know that I usually try to start off a little bit more conservative, and it feels a little weird just because it feels a little too easy at first. But then, kind of in the back of my head, I try to remind myself like it's going to get hard. And I also, within the conference that I'm in, we have a girl from UNC Pembroke, and she is amazing. She's an amazing person, and she's really great, a really great competitor. And she beats me every single time, but she paces me to. I mean, if she wasn't up ahead of me, I don't know if I'd ever even PR because I wouldn't have anybody to chase. My teammate Lauren, who's also at Converse, she also has joined the 10K group with me. So I think we kind of just switch off every mile and just try to push each other. But we do start off a little bit more conservative and then try to work it down. And that's really how every 10K has gone for us. Starts off a little slower and then it picks up towards the end. But I would say they're pretty even splits for the first 5K and the second 5K, maybe slightly faster on the second 5K. But I just kind of go based off where the girls take me. And if they're ahead of me, I'm just going to work off of them. We all help each other out. And there's no true technique, I would say, to it, at least in my case.
Um, um, I had a question and I'm blanking on this now. Here in the heavens. Um, what inspires you to run? Or who inspires you to run?
I feel like my mom and my brother, as well as my high school coach. My high school coach, whenever I started running, he knew my brother for a year at that point, like I said, and he became very attached to my brother and I, and he helped me get through a lot of things. And he kept me consistent and really committed to the running side. So him showing that he cared so much made me want to do it for him because he did a lot. And then my brother doing it, like just running and being on the team, would give me a lot of advice. And then obviously, with the running, I got a scholarship to do it collegiately, which is also allowing me to get a degree and, the education that I need to pursue higher education in life for a career. And my mom has always wanted that for my brother and I to just focus on studies and keep moving forward in life and make a good future, set up a good future for ourselves. So I know that my brother and my mom just they're really proud of me for to continue with the running and staying committed because it's getting me not just, it's not just keeping me great fitness wise, but I'm doing it for a college who's giving me a good education. So it worked out perfectly all the way around. So I feel like I do it for those three people who just kept pushing me when I needed it most and just always believed in me.
Um, so what are your plans after after college? Like after this? Like, do you have any plans up after this? Because it's the last.
Yeah, so I do an internship at a hospital nearby, and they have a cancer center. So I've done an internship with them for a little over a year now, and I'm majoring in biochemistry. So I do a lot of lab-based things, and they opened up a new lab, and they also do a lot of data coordination, dealing with different studies within the cancer spectrum and stuff. So I do like their cancer research. How could I say it? Let's see, like a research coordinator. So then I look through the studies. I work with a certain team on a certain study. I pull information that we need from there, and then we just extract different pieces to all come down to what the big question is. So I feel like I might go into that and stay there with them, hopefully. So I'll probably be moving to South Carolina and just continue with that. And then I do want to, like, with the running portion of it, my friend who was also at Converse, she's staying there to do more schooling at Sherman College. And so we're going to continue and run because we want to sign up for a marathon. So we definitely will, after this season ends, try to stay in shape and, try to knock out that marathon as soon as possible before we lose all fitness
Yeah.
all around.
So any marathons that you two are looking at doing, or just like seeing what shows up?
No, well, her mom found one in Greenville. I think it's in October. So I think we might do the marathon in Greenville. I know sometimes um, in Atlanta, which is not far away from my home here in Georgia, they sometimes do marathons. So maybe I look into the one in Atlanta, or the one in Greenville, and the third option is do one in my friend's hometown, which is in Virginia. So just really just whichever pops out. There's not a real, we haven't really based it on anything. We just want to do a marathon and call it a day.
Have you ever done a half marathon?
Not officially, but I've done a long run that's been the same length
Yeah.
as a half marathon. So my mileage sometimes tends to go up pretty high. And so I just, unironically on a Saturday had to do a half marathon, but not officially, no.
So what is the farthest that you have run?
I would say 13 miles. 13 miles is the longest run I've done. This year, I haven't touched anything higher than an 11-mile run. My Saturday long runs have been 11. Today it was luckily only 9 because of yesterday's race, and we did a workout after the race, so the legs were a little tired. So today I just had 9, but our usual long runs are um, within like 9 to 11 range this year.
So do you usually like run by like other long runs by yourself with your team?
We run as a team for the most part. This weekend, I came home, so I had to go out there and do it alone. And I mean, it felt fine. I think I just had a lot of adrenaline because I haven't been home in a while. So I hadn't, seen the city that I've been at for years until I moved to college. And, it was a fun time. But usually I'm with the team. Like last weekend, I mean, I don't think I've been home since I want to say Thanksgiving break. So usually I'm always with my team. There's not a single run that I feel like I've done alone up until today. So
So was that harder for you today, not running with like running with a team?
I think the hardest part was actually getting up out of bed and going out to actually do it. Just, me being alone, I was like, oh, I can do it whenever I want. And I can do whatever pace I want. But then once I got out there and I started doing it, it was perfectly fine. I listened to music and then I just do the miles that I have to do. So I guess the running part of it wasn't very hard, but just getting out there and getting out of bed and, staying committed to myself and my miles was the hardest part. Just waking up knowing that I had to do it alone was a struggle, but once I went out there, it was perfectly fine.
Like I think for me, like the hardest part of running is getting started. Like once I start my run,
Yes.
I'm maybe in pain, but it's not. But that the hardest part I think is starting the race, starting the run, starting the race. Because once I start, it's like like I would do not like I don't ever want to see a DNF on my name. I just don't like
Hmm.
unless I'm paid someone, then I might. But like I want to like when I race do a race, I want to like finish the race, not be like not finish the race. So that's what's the thing that keeps me motivated is like don't stop. Just and sometimes like on some of my better races I've done, I've like wanted to stop. I'm like it hurts now, but when I'm done, it'll be all worth it in the end. Just gotta push through the pain a little longer, and afterwards I'll get to tell and say, "Oh, how much? Oh, I held this pace for longer, so like it'll all be worth it in the end. Just gotta push through the pain now and get to the good stuff afterwards."
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It's just getting started can be so dreading sometimes, but then you're in it and you go through all the motions and all the pain, and then you finish and you feel the most accomplished you've ever felt. And I've ran many races before, but after every race, it's always just such a relief and it makes you feel so much better about yourself.
Um, any other things that have not asked you or that just saying that mention at all that have not asked you or because that's all questions I have.
Yeah, let's see. You know, I'm not really good at coming up with questions
Yeah.
myself on the
Yeah.
spot, but
Sorry.
um,
I just
let's
want to like
see.
make sure you have the opportunity to say if you want to say anything.
Yeah, no, I will say, I think something that is usually just that only I can really relate to is that my all 4 years of college, I've never raced in spikes. I always do a flat running shoe, like Vaporflies or like Alpha Maxes, but NCAA changed that rule, so I had to switch to spikes for the first time. So for indoor conference, I got spikes, and the weekend, no, 2 weekends before indoor conference, I got new racing flats, and they were the streak flies, and I thought that those were permitted because they were a lot thinner. And they actually weren't. So I got my very first disqualification, my very first ever,
And
disqualification. 2 weekends before indoor conference. And so then after that, I had to get spikes, and now I'm just racing in spikes. So
you like racing spikes?
that's something. I mean, yeah, I did it in high school. I ran a race in college in spikes, I think for my very first indoor race when I was a freshman, and my Achilles and my calves were torn up. My ankles felt just silly. And my coach was like, you know what? We should just switch to flats. I feel like that would do you so much better because I will say I have very sensitive ankles. Like my ankles, they cause me all the issues in the world for some reason. And I think it's because I should have very good balance considering that the terrain in cross country can be iffy. I just never got used to it. So then I just switched to flats. And now that I'm using spikes, it feels different. It feels like I'm wearing nothing, but and they make me very, very sore still. But I think that's just because I haven't used them in 4 years. So that's, I would say, one thing that I will put out there is that I was always so used to just like racing shoes. Um, but now I'm in spikes and I enjoy it. I enjoy the feeling. I have no issues with them. It was just very different for me to get into that.
Well, that's all I have for you. So thank you for that, your time.
Of course. Thank you.